Front Row MMA, we're here at Ludus Magnus, and we're here chatting with Wayne Murrie just a few weeks out from his BAMMA 14 fight against Michael Johnson. First off, thanks ever so much for coming in on a Sunday and spending some time with us. Let's go straight into it. Michael Johnson, you know, BAMMA have started to release a lot of press releases about this guy, that this is his first time back. And what do you know about him, and how did this fight come about?
The fight got mentioned to me quite a few weeks ago. And I know that Michael Johnson has been an MMA competitor for a long time, since I think his first fight was in '99 or 2000. So he's been in the sport a long time. He's obviously trained a long time, but so have I. So I think it should make for a good fight. Two experienced veterans going at it.
He's not been in the cage for a little while, and I think it's fair to say it's been a little while since you were last in the cage. I know you've been competing, but how excited are you to get back into MMA and into the cage, and especially at an event like BAMMA 14?
I can't wait to get back in. I've had a full year out now. I've done little bits and bobs. A K1 fight, and obviously I've had good training camps. So I've had a few training camps this year where I should have fought alongside good training partners and a good team. So for me, I've had a fantastic year, and I'm ready to get in and explode in there this time.
You were supposed to appear on BAMMA 13, and we've just heard. I'm not going to pretend I knew all this, but you know, you had different opponents pulling out. You had Ali Arish, who popped his knee, and then you had a Brazilian lad who couldn't make it. When that happens, and you've been in a training camp, is there some point that you go, why am I doing this if I'm not going to get is there ever any of that sort of frustration that sort of wells up?
There is a lot of frustration, but I think over the years you get used to the pullouts. It just comes with the industry. There's that many different chopping and changing factors in the sport. I mean, I'm no angel. I've had to pull out of a fight before myself due to injury. These things do happen, and it comes with what we do. It comes with the territory of what we do. It's a tough sport, and we do get injuries, so it's expected.
The last time we saw you fight live, it was at a UCFC event in Batley, I think, and it didn't last very long. It was, I think, a 32-second demolition, ended up in a TKO. We've seen footage of your fights, and you tend to be a very aggressive striker. Is any of that going to change for this fight?
No, I'm going to be fully aggressive in this fight, whether it's striking or on the ground. It don't matter where the fight goes. We're both well-rounded fighters, so it's going to be aggressive everywhere, and it's going to be who wants it the most.
So my next question then again is, how bad do you want this? Well, what does this fight mean for Wayne Murrie in terms of where you want to go in the future with this sport?
This means everything to me. A BAMMA title, also getting on Channel 5, and showing my skills and showing what I can do. I've been in sport for a long time. I know Michael has, but I want to put myself out there, and I want people to see what I'm capable of.
Is the ambition still, and I'm not aging you by any stretch, when the camera goes off, you're able to hit me. But is the ambition to go to the biggest leagues of them all? You know, to get onto the Bellator, because I know they're doing a sort of talent. They're doing a search for talent in the new year, or the UFC. Is that the ambition for you?
My goal is to beat any man who's put in front of me at this time. I don't have any long-term goals at the minute. If the big scene comes to me, then I will take it. But at this moment in time, I'm 31 years of age. I just want to put down any man who comes in front of me.
31 years of age. They say that like, you say that like it's old somewhat, but you know, looking at that guy over there, we know what old really is.
28.
Yeah, he's had a hard life. We'll keep talking about BAMMA for a minute. You know, you've got a teammate, Scott Askham, who's already got one of their titles. You know, is there any of that motivates you to bring the title home, so you can have a bit of a you know, bragging rights with him?
Yeah, well, no, because to be fair, if I do win this title, when I win this title, should I say, mine will be a British and his will still be a world, so I won't be able to brag really with it. It's still going to be a step in front of me, but having Scott to train with is fantastic for me. We're absolutely brilliant for each other, and we both push each other. Unfortunately, injuries at the minute is out of this camp, which is a big loss for me, but we'll still push on with team and do what we can.
What can the fans expect to see from this fight? You said it's going to be aggressive. You said it's going to be a good fight. But have you mixed anything? I'm not asking you to give a game plan away, but have you done? Are you doing anything differently to prepare for a guy like Michael Johnson, who does have a long history in the sport? Does that make you want to change anything up?
No, I'm just doing exactly what I always do. I'm just obviously I'm fine tuning things and training a lot harder. Like I say, I can't emphasise how good the camp is at the minute and the team that we've got. So it's always pushing 110%. Training is fantastic. It's through the roof at the minute.
Yeah, you've mentioned your team and Ludus Magnus. I mean, you guys are, as a team, you guys are on a pretty big tear this year. Lots of wins to not many losses. What do you attribute that to? Because it can't just be, well, in Doncaster they just all happen to be super tough fighters. Where does that come from?
We've got a good recipe for winning. I think we've got good coaches between us all. We've got a lot of good coaches, and these guys are experienced fighters. The guys who are coaching are experienced fighters, and they know what it takes to be a winning team. And that's what we've got at Ludus Magnus at the minute. That's why we're doing so well.
Conor McGregor in a recent interview said that he never feels a need to train outside of the place that he's always trained. He's got a good camp with good coaches, and Joanne Calderwood has said exactly the same thing. Is there ever a temptation for you to perhaps travel to the States and do a small camp out there, or is Ludus Magnus the place to be?
For me, I don't need to travel anywhere. I've been and I've travelled and I've trained in Thailand and I've trained in America. I've trained in different places in England, and for me, it doesn't get any better than where we are at the minute. We've got exactly what we need. We've got the cream of the crop. We've got what we need here.
And apart from training, sort of as a team, you also a lot of your fight team also do work with training kids and doing the junior. How important is that to you as a fighter, and then for the sport itself?
Well, I think kids coming through in this day and age, it's a massive sport. We say it's the biggest growing sport, but I think it's already massive as it is. It's grown already over the last 10 years, and it is a great sport, and it's good for kids to get into. It keeps them off the streets. It gives them things to do. And it also teaches discipline as well. It teaches good discipline to kids. We have a good number of kids coming into our classes, and they're all absolutely fantastic, well behaved, very good at what they're doing, and they're learning the techniques and coming on fantastic.
One of the things that I find quite cool, because I'm a bit of a fanboy, is to on the Facebook page every now and then you get your boxing trainer of the week or your kickboxing trainer of the week, and it's always a picture of either yourself or Neil or one of the other guys with some little dot of a girl or some little boy. How important do you think what you do is to them? Do you think that do they appreciate just what they're getting at when they train with you guys?
I think, yeah, they definitely do. We get a lot of appreciation from those guys. They do put a lot back into us. They've shown us with even different gifts what they'll give. They give back to myself and Neil. They give us gifts, and they show us in different ways. They're always very appreciative. They've all got good manners and say thank you. And I think they also look up to us as role models as well, which is great for us. It makes obviously me and Neil feel fantastic as well to have a younger generation looking up and thinking, wow, these are good guys. These are where I want to be.
I was going to ask how important is it? And again, especially in a sport, any of the combat sports, I think, are somewhat misunderstood. How important is it to be a role model when you're a fighter? Do you think that it just depends on the person, or do you think that anybody involved within the sport has a responsibility to be a positive role model for the people watching?
I think anybody and everybody in the sport should have that responsibility to be a role model. Obviously, we get tired with the wrong brush sometimes, because one of the guys in the industry might make a silly mistake, might go out of a few drinks and maybe get in a brawl, or something happens. But this happens in every single day-to-day life. Not everybody's perfect, and we all make mistakes. But if we can uphold to the best of our ability and make sure that we represent the MMA industry as good people, then I think that makes us all good role models.
Before we let you go and ask if there's anybody you want to thank, let's go back to BAMMA 14, because it's only a couple of weeks away now, 4 weeks away. you know, do you have I know you're not a shit-talking kind of fighter, but do you have a message for Michael Johnson or anything that you'd like to say to him in preparation for this fight, or is that just not your bag?
It's not my bag, really. I just want us both to come and have a great fight. I want Michael to bring 110%, and I'm going to bring 110% too, and let's make it good. Let's make good TV.
I said it was going to be the last question. It never is, because I'm shit at doing this, and you can see Clayton now dropping his head. You fight at welterweight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna. You know, how do I phrase this without sounding somewhat girlish? But you're fucking huge, welterweight. What do you walk around at? And do you find is the weight cut something you're just now incredibly used to, or is it a bit of a drag every time you do it?
No, I find the weight cut really quite easy. When I'm off season, I'll be walking around at between 90 and 95 kilo, and then in a training camp at the minute I'm 88 kilo. So I find it quite easy. Over the next few weeks, I taper down and I'll cut, no problem.
Just makes me a little bit sick, really, when I sit down and look at this. Fuck it up. Look, before we let you go, I appreciate your time. Is there anybody that you want to give a shout out to, or any sponsors that you would like to thank?
Yeah, I'd like to thank XX Mouth Guards, JY Nutrition, Darren at Heavy Duty Fight Gear, and all my team around me, basically, and coaches.
Wayne, thank you so much for your time. Best of luck in a few weeks' time, and we look forward to seeing you there. Thank you.